Hello my friends, my family, my lovers, my enemies. My name is Amber and it is with an open heart and an open mind that I welcome you. I am here today at Playa Roca Verde, just south of Dominical in Costa Rica, enjoying the beach, hanging out in my hammock, just relaxing, dropping into some deep trance meditation. One of my favorite things to do, just breathing, just being, without anywhere to go, without anything to do, just enjoying life exactly as it was meant to be enjoyed. So I made a video the other day, my first real YouTube video, where I threw out all my cannabis and tobacco and decided to step fully into this decision to quit smoking, at least to quit being addicted to these substances. And I shared with you in that last video that I have been using these substances in a very addictive, very unhealthy way for a long time now, in a way that I felt like, an addiction is something that controls your life. You know you're addicted to something if you don't feel okay without it, or if there's things that you feel like you can't do without it, right? So for me, I didn't feel like I could enjoy a meal without having a cigarette afterwards. I would wake up the first thing in the morning and my body would just be craving nicotine, and that first cigarette, that cup of coffee in the morning was really associated in my mind with happiness and enjoyment and feeling good. And I just want to say, wow. Self-hypnosis is miraculous. So amazing. So I started listening to my self-hypnosis script exactly a month ago today. And as I shared in the last video, I took some time to let the self-hypnosis really penetrate deep down into my subconscious mind before I actually took the step to remove the tobacco, excuse me, the tobacco and cannabis. So I want to share today a little bit more about what self-hypnosis is, how it works, and what you can use it for. So I'm using it to help me break my addiction to tobacco and cannabis. I'm not saying quit, because I really would love to be in a place where I can enjoy these medicines occasionally, really enjoy them, not feel this addictive, this craving, right? Just genuinely oh, I want this right now. This is something that I enjoy, which I think is even harder than quitting. But what I found with quitting is that when you're quitting something, you're creating such a strong line in the sand. You guys can't see it here, I'm drawing a line in the sand, but a line that says this is before and this is after, and this is a non-negotiable thing. So self-hypnosis is a way of reprogramming the already programmed thoughts that are deep in your subconscious mind. And whether you want to admit it to yourself or not, we are all heavily programmed. We have been programmed from a very young age by the media, by religion, social programming within our families, within our education systems, the political systems. And this programming really controls the way that we feel and the way that we think and the decisions that we make and the patterns of behavior that we participate in on a daily basis. So for me, smoking and really feeling addicted to nicotine was a deeply programmed pattern of belief. I grew up with a father that smoked. My dad allowed me to start smoking very young. I think I was about 14 years old when he started buying me cigarettes, saying, hey, quit stealing my cigarettes, these are your cigarettes, go smoke. There was never any real awareness around not smoking, or it was just kind of allowed. And then also in the media, we see it all the time. Like, if you smoke, you're cool. Like, you're so sexy. It's people who smoke are enjoying life more. And these beliefs were really programmed deep into my subconscious. So that's why I took a long period of time with the self-hypnosis to allow the new programming, the new thoughts, the new patterns of behavior to really integrate into my subconscious mind. So self-hypnosis is a tool that anyone can use at any time for anything. Now, I wouldn't recommend starting with something as big as quitting smoking if you've never done any self-hypnosis before. Not because it's not possible to quit smoking right away, but just because self-hypnosis, any kind of hypnosis, is going to work so much better with a deep belief that it works, right? A personal belief, not someone else telling you that it works, a personal belief that self-hypnosis works. So that's why I suggest starting with something a little on the lighter side, a less challenging program than something like quitting smoking or even losing weight, right? These things that we've been battling with. Like, man, I've been actively trying to quit smoking for 7 years now. Like, I have quit, I'd say probably 100 times in the last 7 years. And every single time that I tried to quit, I was so unhappy. Like, every moment of my day was spent thinking about smoking and how I wanted to smoke and how I wasn't allowed to smoke and how smoking was bad for me, but I like it, and just back and forth and back and forth. And then when I'm smoking, I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. I wish I could stop. And my whole awareness, whether I was smoking or quitting smoking, like the snake eating its tail, was preoccupied with smoking, with having this addiction. And so I'm super excited to report back to you guys that it's been 4 days now since my last video, and I have had 0 nicotine cravings. 0. Like, I have no desire to smoke whatsoever. I occasionally have some thoughts in my mind, like, oh, I just finished a meal and I really want a cigarette now, because that's really a part of the pattern. Having a cigarette after a meal was a pattern of behavior for me. But it's just a thought, and it's so easy to recognize that it's a thought, but it's not this like physical, like, oh, skin crawling, like, oh, I just want some nicotine, like, give me the gum, let me smoke something else that tricks me to make me think I'm smoking nicotine. No, it's just a thought, like, oh, I'd like to have a cigarette now. And then when I think about it some more, I'm like, actually, I don't. Last night, I was actually in a bar for like an hour and a half around people partying, drinking, smoking, and I could have easily just walked up to someone and said, hey, can I bum a smoke? And I've given myself permission to do that. Like I said, I'm not drawing this hard line. I'm not saying I don't smoke ever again. So I could have just said, you know what, tonight I'm gonna smoke. But I genuinely felt so good in my body that I didn't want to have a cigarette. And this is new. This is just from the self-hypnosis, because like I said, I have tried to quit smoking a lot of times. So I'm super excited to share with you guys my success. I'm going to keep sharing this process, my progress, my setbacks, all of it. Don't worry, full disclosure here. I'm getting this shit coming up in my throat now from quitting smoking. I'm prepared to start, detoxing, having some stuff coming up out of my lungs. But I'm so excited because I feel really good. Like, I have more energy already. I have more confidence already. I have more like focus. I'm making these videos. Like, I don't know how to tell you guys the struggle that I have had for the last couple years trying to make these videos, trying to create this YouTube channel to share with you the things that I want to share. And all of a sudden, with this shift, I'm able able to do the things that I wanted to do for so long. So self-hypnosis is a very simple, very easy technique. It starts with first identifying what it is that you want to change, becoming very clear on the exact habit, the exact thought, the exact pattern of behavior that it is that you want to change. The second step is creating what my mentor Brene Brown calls a shitty first draft. I don't think she uses it in the same way, but pretty much this is an exercise where you really pay attention and become clear about all of those thoughts and beliefs and feelings, sensations, emotions that are negatively associated to the thing that you want to change, right? So for me, with smoking, I had beliefs like smoking helps me to relax. I feel more confident when I smoke. I enjoy smoking. I need cigarettes in social situations because I have social anxiety. I had all of these beliefs, that I wouldn't be happy if I didn't have this crutch to fall back onto. And so you make this shitty first draft of all of these programmed beliefs, all these patterns, and then you begin to change those thoughts and patterns into a positive, affirmative opposite. Now, we don't want to go super extreme, right? Like, I wouldn't want to say something like, I feel like, let me think of something. I wouldn't want to say something like, if my negative thought was, I'll never be happy without smoking, I wouldn't change it to this like extreme opposite of, I'll be happier if I quit smoking, even though that's true. What I would change it to is something that my psyche can easily digest, which is like, every day I'm learning that smoking doesn't make me as happy as I think. So you start to create these positive, affirmative sentences or, beliefs, and then you make a self-hypnosis script. Now you can write your self-hypnosis script down, you can record it like I did, and you begin to listen or read that self-hypnosis script every day at the same time. I highly recommend doing this either right in the morning, immediately in the morning when you wake up, or right before bed at night when we're in that hypnagogic state. I prefer first thing in the morning because sometimes at night the mind is busy, you don't know when you actually shift into that relaxed state, but for sure, first thing in the morning, right when you wake up, read your self-hypnosis script, listen to it, whatever you're doing, and do this for a little while, like I did. Give yourself a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Give yourself a little bit of time to let the self-hypnosis reprogram those thoughts and beliefs, to make new thoughts and beliefs about whatever pattern it is that you want to change. And then after a few weeks goes by, after you're feeling confident, create a ritual. I really love having a ritual. It's something that I think society is missing so much, this act of ritual. Like maybe you're going to sacrifice something like I did. I went to the river, I sacrificed, I gave my cannabis and my tobacco back to the earth. These things came from the earth, they were a gift to me. I'm going to gift them back to the earth. I'm going to put the energy back into the flow. Maybe you light a candle. Maybe you write down some things that you want to let go of and you burn those things in a fire. Whatever ritual feels good for you. And then you start to make these changes in your life. You start to just see. Give yourself some leniency, be gentle with yourself, and just see how it goes. And trust that this process does work. I am proof, I am an example. I enjoyed life without anything, any substances. I actually fasted for 5 days. I'm just coming off of that fast, starting to get back into some fruits and veggies and different things, but my body's feeling good, my mind is feeling good, and I am here, like if you have any questions, if you want some guidance on this, I am developing a 5-week self-hypnosis course that's going to be launching hopefully by mid-March, end of March at the latest. Like I said in my last video, I really wanted to make sure that I had so much confidence about what I was sharing with you guys. I wanted to do something big for myself so I can come with like a lot of gusto, a lot of excitement that like, let's do this self-hypnosis, everyone. And I'm getting there. So keep an eye out, stay tuned. Please like and subscribe my channel. If you want to contact me, you can leave a comment here, or you can find me at Hypnotized Tulum. So Instagram, Facebook handle, Hypnotized Tulum, website, hypnotizedtulum.com. And as always, like, feel free to reach out with your questions, with your comments, with your feedback. If you need anything, if you need someone to talk to, if you need someone to just listen, whatever it is, from my heart to yours. Namaste, gracias. I'm going to give you guys just a little view of what's going on here. So I've got my hammock set up right over here. This is one of my favorite things to do. We're at this beautiful beach. I love it here in Costa Rica. So happy, so lucky, so blessed.